What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 8-game NBA slate. Got some prop plays, of course, got the DFS insight for you guys and how I think we should be building and what we should be looking at on tonight's slate. If you guys new here, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm dropping over here on the channel. Drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos help you guys win some money. Let me know. Last night, how did you guys do down in the comment section? I myself, if you guys look over here at the No Days Off fam or for the Patreon, didn't do too bad. We cashed out on our parlay builder that we had over here on FanDuel, turned 25 into 52 bucks over there on that. For the DFS side of things, the core and player pool smashed, has some really good stuff over there for us. 312.50 inside of my contest. I play in the single entry high dollar contest. So if you guys are looking for the best way to play DFS, and I stand and live by this, been playing DFS for quite some years, single entry contest. Single entry, low amount of players. That is the best bang for your buck. Even if you're playing like the $5, $2, $1, $3 contest, get the single entry stuff, but play the smaller pools of that right there, and you'll find out that you're going to cash more times than not, because the winning like 312.50 inside of the big GPP, I'm barely sniffing anything in that, but in a high dollar contest or just honestly a single entry contest where everyone only has one lineup, I'm gonna do pretty good. But like I said, the builder for FanDuel cashed that yesterday. Player core did really well, and then finally putting out the player pool for you guys. Been working on this on the back end of actually trying to get something aesthetic and how I wanted it to lay out, look. Really just the resource and the time into going into everything for it. If anyone is really good with spreadsheets or Google Docs and whatnot and would like to help in regards to formatting this for me, that would be really greatly appreciated, because trying to convert it from Google Docs and putting it into a PDF so I can upload it on here, pain in the ass. But needless to say, definitely was able to get it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys are in the Patreon and you guys used it yesterday, let me know down in the comment section anything that you guys want to see change, or if you guys actually liked it yourself as well. Definitely going to keep rolling it out. We'll try to make sure I have this every day that I don't do content up here for you guys. I will make sure I have at least a player pool up there for you guys. Least I could do. And definitely, if you guys are looking to try to get a hold of this, it's only $5. Check the link down script below for the Patreon. You're not only going to be getting a player pool, but you're going to be getting prop plays. Not only myself, but BK, his women college basketball stuff, his NHL props, his NBA props, his money line bets, all of that stuff. You're getting a lot of value over here at the No Days Off Fan for $5. For $5. But definitely check that out. If you guys are using this right here, you can see a couple players in green. That does not mean that those are players that I like more than anything else. That just means that those are the players that I feel are good for cash and GPP. You're getting your studs, you're getting your mid-tier stuff. You can't see it up there on my screen right now, but you're getting mid-tier, and then you're also getting the value plays that I think are really good value that we can look to and possibly play and focus on for the slate. So definitely let me know if you guys actually enjoy that, and anything that you guys want to see changed or updated or stuff like that. But heading on over, we got, of course, another slate with a bunch of injury news that we have to pay attention to. Stuff slowly coming in as we wait and go on throughout the day. As always, I'm going to go over it and give us the feel of how I think things should go. Definitely would pay attention to the player pool for any notes and nuggets I am able to put into that right there if you guys are using that. OKC versus Cleveland, game of the night. We have no news that we really have to worry about from either side of this. Players that have been out, they've been out on both sides of this. For the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu, he's still out. Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, fully expect for him to play. Tweaked his ankle in the last game, but was able to finish the game, was good to go over there. So I didn't see anything else updating in regards to that. But Miles Turner popped up recently for an illness, so he might be out. We might have some value over there on the Pacers side in what should be a good game with a high total. Washington, their news just recently dropped. Kyle Kuzma, game time decision. I actually think that he might play just because he was listed as out yesterday for the rest of the game in the second half. Then all of a sudden was updated to questionable. So he could have came back is what I'm going to take that as. So possibility that Kuzma might play tonight, considering that they do need him. All the injuries that they have over here. Jordan Poole, he's going to be out again. Carrington, he's popped up on the injury report. Game time decision. Sarr, all of a sudden now he's on the injury report. If Sarr's out, then that means we're going to get Big Vooch out there getting some starter minutes, which would be really great. A good fantasy per minute player. Going up against the Philadelphia 76ers with no Joel Embiid, with no Paul George, with no Kyle Lowry, KJ Martin, or McCain. So this is the Tyrese Maxey show. Once again, we've already seen it. We kind of know how it goes. Definitely should be going right back to it. But Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., Jr., Caleb Martin, Yabusele, that fifth starter, Drummond. Drummond is dealing with a toe. Didn't practice yesterday for shoot around, so not too sure if we will actually get the news if Drummond, well, we'll get the news, but not too sure if Drummond will play or not. So that's something that we want to pay attention to because Yabusele, great fantasy point per minute producer and player, and this is a good matchup that I would want to target and play him in if Drummond is out. Detroit, no news that we really got to worry about over here. Amen Thompson, he's sick, gonna miss the second game. Ivy, he's out for quite some time. Brooklyn shitters, they are once again just shit in the bed. Ton of players out. D'Lo, he's out. Ben Simmons, he's out. Wofford's out. Cam Thomas is out. Cam Johnson is out. Like, everybody is out for this damn team. I honestly don't know how they have enough players to even play tonight. Going to definitely be focusing and looking at the Brooklyn's depth chart to see if this is going to be an 8-man rotation type thing, because if it is, then it doesn't matter if they're shitty players or not. Still going up against Detroit, not a bad team to actually take some pieces from. But if you only got 8 players, somebody has to produce. Someone has to do something out there for him. So definitely something I want to pay attention to, especially if Dayon Sharp, he gets ruled out too. He just popped up on the injury report. Toronto, no news for them. New York, Cat's still dealing with tendonitis in his knee. If he's going to be out, then we're going to see Jericho Sims again get the start, or maybe Precious Achua. Portland, Denny Avnia dealing with the wrist. We need to know if he's going to be in or out. Klingon, possible to rest today just because they were on the front end of the back-to-back. They have been holding him out. For those, Jeremy Grant, he is still out. For the Pelicans, Trey Murphy, game time decision. Not too sure if he's going to be in or out. I want to say he was ankle sprain. Zion, he's not listed up here. He did play last night. Looks like he's fully back out there doing 360 dunks. Didn't pull a hamstring doing it. So maybe he might play spotty minutes here. Not too sure. I'll be surprised if they actually let Zion play again today. So definitely keep an eye on that right there. For the Clippers, no news right there. Kawhi Leonard, he's good to go. He's playing. Denver Nuggets, late injury scratch yesterday, and Joker being scratched due to an illness. Tried to go through pregame warmups, didn't feel like it, and so he left. Pay attention to that, because if the Joker's out, then we'll get the same thing. I would imagine that DeAndre Jordan should get the start, just simply because a big body going up against Zubac. I highly doubt you're going to start Sark right there. So definitely want to pay attention to that right there. If we can get that news before anything, that'll definitely be helpful. San Antonio Spurs, Sochan, he's going to be out today. And then for Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, even though he has some stitches put into his right shooting pinky, he's fully expected to play. And Andre Jackson, he's expected to play today as well. Heading on over to DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, make sure you guys check the link down in the description below so you guys get that positive ass bonus and join your boy over here on the King. And just like that, as I am recording this video, Zion Williamson ruled out. Of course, was fully expected for him to be out. DeJounte Murray, he is questionable with his elbow. And Trey Murphy, he is ruled out as well. So we definitely got something to go over when we get over there to that Pelicans game now. Since, let's see, we got another one. Nope. Since we got stuff popping up now. Kind of like doing the videos a little bit later in the afternoon, because injury reports and stuff start to rock and roll and come out. So really does help a little bit. All right, starting with the game of the night, OKC versus Cleveland. Honestly, for me, this game right here, I also have a same game parlay for you guys. Alt lines, of course, that I do feel has a very strong chance to hit. If you're watching this game, it's going to be on TV tonight. I like the upside for it, and definitely be something I would play if I were you. So looking at this game right here, this one right here, Shea, Donovan Mitchell, all these guys, definitely you could play them. I definitely wouldn't mind getting Donovan. He's put up some decent numbers versus us throughout his career. Shea, he's on an MVP campaign, 10-5. Definitely, I can see yourself going there, but I have Wemby on the slate. I got some other players in some really great spots. I got some injury news that I'm waiting to break. Not too sure if I want to put my eggs in the basket with Shea here today in the spot. The price tag, 10-5, of course. Not bad. 67, 52, 49, 54, 63 fantasy points. Looks really great, but I'm just saying, at that guard spot, there's some better guards on today's slate that have that, if they can hit their ceiling, are going to be hitting Shea's floor. So kind of up in the air in regards to that right there. Best play and favorite play for me over here on this this game is going to be Isaiah Hartenstein, just because they should need him to match up with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, those minutes out there for those big guys that they have. He's playing at least 30 minutes out here in these games. Even in games that are being blowouts, he's getting at least 30 fantasy points out there. They're going to need his playmaking. They're going to need his rebounding out there. And of course, his scoring, if he can go ahead and get back to his double-double ways. Seems like he's tailored off of that over his last 5 games, but the upside is still definitely there for him. We know he has the block upside. He definitely can play out there, do some defense, and he's a really good connector. That price tag 7-1, I like that. Cheaper than Evan Mobley, kind of has a decent same-ish floor of what Evan Mobley can give me right now. But there's nothing wrong with going out here to Jared Allen 6,400. Again, they're gonna need him out there. Really good spot for him to go ahead and gobble up some rebounds as well. I definitely could see that. As long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble, the upside could be there for him. You can definitely take a stab on someone like Evan Mobley. Would be the only other player I really would look to over there if you're looking for some straight up, just some cheap GPP, BPP, PPP plays. Queso or Wiggins should be getting a start here. This is not a game that they will be starting Isaiah Joe. It's not. If they start Joe, I would be honestly floored and surprised if Joe gets to start. Now, same game parlay that I really do like for this game, that would be Shea for 25 points, Donovan Mitchell for 3 or 4 assists. Evan Mobley 6-8 rebounds, Isaiah Hartenstein 2 to 3 assists, and also 8 to 10 rebounds. That would be the same game parlay that I will run for this game that I do like for all those plays right there. Very consistent in regards to hitting those numbers right there, and also the matchup for them in all those spots are actually really good. But that's really all I like from over here. The other play that I could take a stab at would be Karis LeVert, just because the minutes. I could see a world where maybe if Allen gets himself into foul trouble or Mobley gets himself into foul trouble, they will run LeVert out there. LeVert has been playing some pretty decent minutes. He has played some great minutes versus the Thunder in the past as well. We already know he can facilitate. He stuffs the stat sheets everywhere out there, and if it's going to be one of those things where we're daring them to shoot, they definitely will let LeVert shoot, and LeVert will let it fly. Going on over to, honestly, to me, arguably one of the better games and best game of the night. High total. If the Bulls can keep this game close with the Pacers, it should definitely be a really great game. Some value and some great picks from either side. Gonna start with the Chicago Bulls side. For them, I will say I am completely out on Josh Giddey. He's just playing like shit over his last several games. Not really looking there. Very much hit or miss. Very GPP. So if you want to take a chance on that, that's on you, 7,100. And I know without Ayo being out there, the minutes have been up for grab. But Kobe White, his minutes are secure. He's going to play the minutes. 6,700. He has been playmaking. He has been scoring very well. And this is not a bad spot or matchup for him. So I really wouldn't mind going back over there to him. Or Zach LaVine. We know he's been on a tear over his last several games as well. 8,100, and he's just dropping buckets left and right. Love the upside for either one of those two guys over Giddey. Vooch, you can't mess with and go there. It's all right. I will say the matchup for Patrick Williams, if he actually, for whatever reason, decides he wants to like shoot, play some really great defense. Power forwards have been killing it versus the Pacers all season. Has honestly been a spot that you've been able to attack for years versus them. I don't mind looking there. Now, I will say if Turner misses, that is going to up the interest that I am going to have on this side for Siakam. 6,900 without no Turner being out there. They will definitely be relying on like a Jarris Walker, Obi Toppin, or Thomas Bryant. If Thomas Bryant gets to start, he's a great fantasy point per minute producer. He can stretch the floor as well, shoot some threes, get some block shots, rebounds pretty well. Very high energy type guy. Wouldn't mind looking towards Thomas Bryant if he was to get the start, if Miles Turner is out. But I will say Pascal Siakam, rebound upside, scoring wise, all that stuff, that's definitely going to be there for him. Power forwards going up against the Bulls. They've had some pretty great games. Josh Hart just dropped 39.5 fantasy points versus them. Bridges dropped 59. Bobby Portis 37. Jalen Johnson 59. So as you can see, the upside for power forwards versus the Chicago Bulls is definitely there. Outside of that, I will say Tyrese Halliburton without Miles Turner. I definitely don't mind going to him. Even if Miles Turner's in, Halliburton, he's been balling over his last several games. The assist upside that's there for him. We know we can take point guards versus the Bulls for their assist numbers. Those are definitely really great for that. And then of course he's scoring. He's actually scoring at a pretty decent clip, knocking down threes left and right, looking very comfortable out there. And so far versus the Bulls in that first game that they played versus them, he dropped 45 fantasy points out there in that game. He had 23 points and 8 assists. All right there. So if you are looking for a floor for his assists, I definitely wouldn't mind taking the 8. All right there as a possible play. And then Mathurin. This would just seem like one of those games where he should be able to get his shot ups and be able to actually put up a decent fantasy point number out here for us, especially at that 5,800 price tag. Now, if Halliburton is to be ruled out, then of course we are going to have to look at TJ McConnell, 3,800. You cannot go wrong with that. We already know he's a very good playmaker. He's quick, twitchy, all those other things. Definitely can get into the lane and get those easy shots and things like that. The upside would be there for him here on the slate. 76ers taking on Washington. Of course, all the news that we're getting coming out of Washington, honestly, kind of do need to know if Kuzma's going to be in or out, but if he's not, it's really just going to be all these young guys over here that we have. Koulibaly, Sar, hopefully he's good to go. Champagny, Vooch. If Sar's out, then Vooch really is going to be a decent value play, 5,300. The upside should be there for him. Again, pretty good fantasy point per minute produced when he's out there. I can only imagine if he was to get the start and was playing 30, 35-ish minutes out there, his upside could be very, very good if they were to give him that starting nod. But definitely would pay attention to whether or not if that injury, how it shakes out. I will say Carrington, I don't mind going to him if I can get to that right there. With no Poole being out there, and then of course you don't got Brogdon, so the upside definitely could be there for Carrington. Keontae, I think that's how you say his name, Keontae George, him at 3,400. That would be another value play that you can go to. 27 minutes over his last couple games, decent matchup. Honestly, in my eyes, gonna get the minutes regardless, just because they are dealing with a ton of injuries over here for Washington, so he's gonna have to be out there regardless. Champagny, of course, him at 5.5, definitely can go ahead and roll there with him, especially if Kuzma misses, then you know he's going to have to go out there and play those minutes out there as well. Now, over on the 76ers side, this is where it's just pretty much cut and dry. Tyrese Maxey, all the usage, no Paul George, no Joel Embiid. Upside should definitely be there for Maxey here in this position and spot. And then, of course, Yabusele, if Drummond was to miss as well, and no Joel Embiid, depending on who actually starts. If Drummond is good to go, no minutes limit or something like that, I don't mind looking at Drummond. If they're still going to start Yabusele, I will play Yabusele over Drummond. That doesn't matter to me right there. As long as Yabusele gets to start, I'll play him. I like his upside. Dude's a great fantasy point per minute producer when he's out there on the court. He does pretty much almost everything out there, rebounding very well for his size, plays some decent defense, and also is a good focus hub in regards to scoring. Outside of those guys, Kelly Oubre Jr. at 5,100. I mean, I'm just going to show you like that. That's it. 42 and 41 fantasy points in his past 2 games, going up against decent soft matchups. That's what he has here again today. And I've been saying it literally in video after video, going up against the Washington Wizards. Players that are good spot-up shooters. Players that can shoot. Jalen Green, example last night. Fred VanVleet, same thing last night as well, going up against them. I want to say they just played Portland, if I'm not mistaken. It was the Pelicans. Freaking CJ McCollum. Shooters shoot versus the Washington Wizards, and they're going to continue to do that. Kelly Oubre Jr., love his upside, love his spot, love what he should be able to go out here and do versus them. And if Drummond misses, then of course I wouldn't mind pairing it up with Yabusele and then running it back with maybe one of those value players over there on Washington. Going over to Detroit, taking on the Brooklyn Shitters, who honestly are missing everyone under the sun for them because I have no clue what the heck this organization and this team is doing. They really need to go ahead and continue to offload their players over here. But on the Detroit side, Cade Cunningham, 9,800. I don't got to talk about Cade. You guys, I know Cade's been playing really great. Good upside, doing everything out there. The assist upside has been there for him. The scoring, he's been scoring at a really great clip. You're going up against a shell of Brooklyn, honestly, out here. So Cade should be able to go out there and do whatever and get whatever he wants once again. As always, Tobias Harris. He's been playing pretty decent. The price is slowly starting to tick up on him. Definitely took him a little while to go ahead and get there, but he's been very efficient over his last couple games. Liking the upside of what I'm seeing. Don't mind that. 6K. I don't hate it. Definitely, if you land there, you land there. That's one of those plays right there. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., 4K. Really honestly surprised he's still this cheap at this price. I know it's been a mixing pot of what we're getting, but going against the Brooklyn Nets, this is a really great spot for him to actually be able to go out here and have a decently good game for us, especially at that small forward position. Definitely could see a 25 to 30-ish fantasy point type number a night for him, especially at that 4K range. That's not bad at all. The upside possibly could honestly be there for him. If you want to take a stab instead of looking at Tim Hardaway, Malik Beasley, we already know he's another one that shoots. Definitely will go out there. He played the minutes up and down in regards to what he can go out there and give us. But definitely, if that 3-point ball is falling and hits, he will go out there and be able to give us the 35 plus fantasy point type night. 5,700. That's really where you got to decide. Do I want to play Beasley? Do I want to play Tobias Harris? One of those. Now on to the Brooklyn Nets side. Honestly, I'm surprised they have enough players to really play this game tonight. Their starting lineup, like, that's just honestly value galore in regards to who's actually going to be playing. Go right back to Tyrese Martin, go right back to Keon Johnson. If Clowney is good to go, shoot, I can go down there to Clowney at the 4,400. point blank period. The players are going to have to play. We need the minutes. Someone has to play. But to me, the best two, I would say Keon, the minutes, the upside, the ball's in his hands. He's playmaking. He's doing all that. Wouldn't mind going to him. If he's actually able to knock down some shots, upside could definitely be there for him in regards to what he can actually go ahead and give us. And then Tyrese Martin at 4,600, definitely would look to him. Took him a little bit for him to actually get there for me last time. I had him at when he was 4K last time out. If he could just give us a little bit more upside from everything else out there on the floor, but played at least 30 minutes. So 4,600. Don't mind taking a stab at him again here in the spot. Possibly could go out there and give us a decent night with some upside. Toronto taking on the New York Knicks. I want to say this is either the second or third time we've seen this matchup right here. Again, Toronto finally has their actual starters and everything that they want to play. Revenge narrative for, of course, a couple of sides, couple of players on either side of this right here. Starting out with Toronto Raptors, we know quick. This is a spot going up against his former team. Definitely wouldn't mind going ahead and taking him here versus them. He has not played them. He has not played them at all this season, any of the times they've played so far. So definitely, if you want to jump into the revenge narrative, don't mind that at all. 6,800. We know the upside could definitely be there. Played 30 minutes last game, only gave us 20 fantasy points, but that was going against Milwaukee. Was a blowout in that game, so definitely it's okay. RJ Barrett, he is cooked versus the New York Knickerbockers every single time he's played them. 9K, a bit rich for my blood, but again, revenge narrative, if you want to believe in that. We know he's going to shoot, we know he's going to rebound, and he can also dish to rock and do a little bit of playmaking. So all that is definitely there for him. Again, if you want to be able to beat the Knicks, one of the things you got to be able to shoot. Grady Dick, 5,100. If you're looking to come off of quickly, you're looking to come off of RJ Barrett, you want to get some piece from this game, you want something from Toronto, wouldn't mind looking towards Grady Dick's way. That definitely would be one way to go ahead and get there. On the New York side, if Karl Anthony Towns is out, then of course, if they're going to start Jericho Sims again, then yes, we're going to play Jericho Sims, 3,800. He's not a offensive threat. He definitely can go out there and get the lobs, but what he does on the rebounding side and what he can bring on defense, we know Tibbs love those things. So if he's going to go out there and play at least 30, 35 minutes, 3,800, I definitely would have to have some interest, and the upside could be there. That's only if Big Cat is out. Now, outside of that, Jalen Brunson, great spot for him. OJ Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, all these guys, everybody else in the starting lineup, they're all in play, all in contention. Their usage and everything only goes up if Karl Anthony Towns is out, and that would be the direction I would look to for those guys over there on the Knicks. Portland taking on New Orleans Pelicans. This game right here, was very upset at myself that I didn't stack Portland, and I want to say who did they play last time? When they played Detroit, like that game was back and forth fireworks. Portland was clicking on all cylinders. They're looking very good over their last several games. The upside has been tremendous and through the roof in regards to what we can actually get from them. And I don't mind going right back to a couple of the players on the Portland side. And really, it's the three key main players in the starting lineup in Anthony Simons, Ayton, and Shaedon Sharpe. Those three guys have been just cooking over the last several games. Simons, man, the playmaking that he's actually given us in dishing the rock very well, but also scoring at a scorching rate out here. Giving us some really great fantasy point numbers, 54, 44, 38, 37, 40 fantasy points. Great matchup going against the Pelicans, who we attack consistently out here with opposing guards and just opposing teams, period, because we can pick on them. Pairing it up with DeAndre Ayton. If, Lord have mercy, I can't believe it. If Ayton comes out here and just has a great game. This is the smash. This is the spot that we have continuously played opposing centers. I was very on the fence with playing Rudy Gobert last night, but then I look back at it. The matchup was just too good. Even though Rudy didn't have to get too involved in the offensive side of the ball, still what he was able to do on the defensive side with his blocks and also just rebounding, period, it gave me a good 40 fantasy point night. Same thing Ayton can go out here and do, but he's more involved also in the offense on this team. Going up against Messi, a smaller center, he should be able to go out here and eat versus this this Pelicans team. I'm sorry, y'all, my voice is cracking and it's simply because I am a little sick. But they have played already 3 times this season. In all 3 games, Ayton has put up over a fantasy point per minute. Last game that he played going up against the Pelicans in New Orleans, he dropped 41 fantasy points in 32 minutes. So the upside is definitely there for DeAndre Ayton to give us a smash of a night. It's just a question of, is Ayton going to want to go out there and do it for us? Now, outside of that, Shaedon Sharpe. Dude been balling. Dude has been shooting, been killing it. Again, shooters going up against the Pelicans. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I love the upside in the spot for him as well in regards to what he can go out here and do versus them. We just seen Carrington drop 34 fantasy points. Dante DiVincenzo dropped 28 versus them. Duncan fucking Robinson, 30 fantasy points versus them. So the upside, definitely love it for all these guys over here on that side. And if Denny Avdia is out, upside for all these guys goes up just because it's more usage and everything for them. But if Denny is in, I don't mind looking at Denny often. He's been playing very well over his last several games. 6,900. The price tag is very good for a player that is honestly stuffing the stat sheet in all categories. But would love it if he sits out, definitely, for some of these other players. But either way, I am going to have somebody from Portland definitely in my lines tonight. Over on the other side, Zion, he's already been ruled out. We're questionable in regards to DeJounte Murray, if he's going to be in or out. I would imagine maybe they give Jose Alvarado the start. If he was to miss, Alvarado, he's back. He's been playing decently some minutes. We know that he's up and down, more of a defensive type player, but definitely we'll be looking more towards CJ if DeJounte Murray is ruled out. If they're in, then shoot, run it back, make a stack. DeJounte Murray dropped 54.5 fantasy points last night. Great spot. Don't mind going right back to him over here, going up against the Portland. Granted, they're doing really great on offense, but they're not that great on defense. They're still giving up some really great fantasy point numbers to opposing point guards. CJ McCollum definitely going up against his former team. Shitty night last night. Go out here, light it up. 1 of 14 last night. Definitely will not be the exact same matchup. And then Messi, this is a spot for him to go ahead and redeem himself going up against Portland. Really shitty night last night in regards to just giving us no fantasy point production. I do think the matchup will be a little tough going up against DeAndre Ayton, especially if he's able to get him in the foul trouble or anything like that. So I would more rely on the guards over here for New Orleans Pelicans if I was to take anything over there. Clippers taking on Denver. We really do need to know the news on if the Joker is going to be in or out. If the Joker is in, then of course, definitely, if you can fit up here to the Joker, you play the Joker. If you can't, then of course, then don't worry about it. Don't even pay any attention. Now, I will say over here on Denver side, without Joker being out there, of course, you're going to be looking towards Jamal Murray. You're going to look towards Russell Westbrook. Either one of those guys love the upside and everything that we should be able to get from them. Without the Joker being out there, they're going to have to go ahead and do what they got to do. Michael Porter Jr., Kawhi Leonard being back, only playing 20-ish minutes. I still could see the upside for him. Wouldn't mind looking there, but I will temper my expectations right there for him. If the Joker misses, I really do see this would be a spot you're going to have to start DeAndre Jordan. You're going to have to just start DeAndre. I don't see any way that you don't start him versus Zubac being out there. Big body. He would eat Sark alive unless you're going to decide you want to start Peyton Watford or something like that. I could see maybe you could do that, but I wouldn't chance it or risk it in doing that direction. Over on the Clippers side, I do have some interest in Harden. Definitely do think with Kawhi Leonard being out there, the playmaking upside in regards to what he can do, just in the rock and everything. I like it. Scoring wise as well, I like that. Especially no Joker. Denver does tend to drop in regards to their pick and roll coverage and things like that. So I don't mind taking Harden here. I know last time that he played going up against them, he only dropped 30-ish fantasy points in 30 minutes. But the first two games that he did play versus them this season, 57 and 70 fantasy points. So Harden has had some pretty big games going up against Denver. Outside of him, Zubac. I really do actually like the upside for Zubac here going up against... Even if the Joker doesn't play or if he plays, either way, I like Zubac here versus Denver. He's had a mixed spot in regards to what he's given us: 50 fantasy points, 37 fantasy points, 22 fantasy points. Still, either way, centers versus the Nuggets have actually balled over the last couple games. Porzingis last night just dropped 50.75 fantasy points. Yes, no Joker. But even before that, Wemby, 63, 69 fantasy points in both those games. Walker Kessler, 40 fantasy points. Jared Allen, 49. Nurkic, 33. You tell me all those centers are better than Zubac? Not really. I'm about to say he's better than Nurk. He's up there with Allen. He's definitely better than Walker Kessler. He's not on the level, of course, of Wemby and Porzingis in regards to stretching the floor and things like that. But defensive upside, rebounding, and also just back to the basket and being able to get that push shot and that hook shot, it's there for Zubac. 7,700. I like the upside for what he can actually bring right there. And then if you're looking for a value play, honestly, I really don't like it, but if you're laying there, 3,800 for Chris Dunn, he's still out there starting and playing the minutes, something you could look to. San Antonio Spurs versus Milwaukee. Wemby, that's it. Wemby, that's really all I'm going to be looking to over here. No So-Chan, more rebound chance and things like that for him. Outside of that, if you want to take a stab at Chris Paul, you definitely can mess with him over there. But I'm not really looking towards that at all. Maybe without So-Chan being out there, we could see some more minutes for Harrison Barnes at 3,800. His price has honestly dropped a lot. But we do know whenever he actually gets some minutes, he can produce pretty decently. 33 minutes versus Denver, dropped 31.75 fantasy points. So definitely not going to kill you, especially with no So-Chan. He should see decent run in minutes. Over on Milwaukee side, do I even have to say it? Do I even have to say it? Honest. Lillard. Lillard's in a little bit of a rut, so Giannis, but I will be worried in regards to that pinky. Maybe he misses a couple more shots than what he would normally make with a messed up pinky or something like that. So definitely just look into that. All right, guys. Kind of feel like I went a little bit long on this video. Sorry about that. If you guys did make it to the end, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy the content. Hopefully you guys were able to get a little something from this. Good luck to everybody on the DFS contest. Cash out, let me see, and talk to me down in the comment section. Peace.